I can't believe for 1 second that he would ever be associated with an allegation like this. And I felt it was important to bring that up because you got people out there. Stephen A., you had something to say about Diddy. Why aren't you going to have something to say about Jay-Z? Well, I don't know Diddy. I've met him a few times, talked to him a few times, absolutely. But I've known Jay-Z for 25 years. I don't believe it.
It's becoming clear that Jay-Z and Beyonce still have a powerful circle holding them up in Hollywood, and Stephen A. Smith just proved it with his latest comments. He stepped out and addressed the allegations surrounding Jay-Z, and he didn't hesitate for a second. He insisted he's standing firmly behind the Carters no matter how chaotic things get. For years, Jay-Z and Beyonce have been tied to every kind of rumor the industry can produce. Fans have accused them of allegedly shutting down other artists' careers, controlling narratives behind the scenes.
Beyonce and Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against them. Okay, I get the threats, but you have to remember one thing. I know your deepest secrets. I know so much about you and what you've done. I know so much on how you got where you are, how you stepped on many people. Beyonce, how you guys ended Carrie Hilson's career because she said something about you. That's how hateful you guys are, how you step on anybody to stay on the top.
And even acting as big-time handlers in the entertainment world. There are also conspiracy-style whispers claiming they've been involved in unloving people, even though none of it has ever been officially confirmed. Still, the stories keep spreading because their influence is massive. Things reached a new level when their close friend Diddy was indicted on serious federal charges, and the entire industry started buzzing. But no one expected the situation to spiral this fast.
The entire time, this person was casting spells and manipulating me and controlling my job situations, my relationships, all just a very wicked tactic to just keep me down and keep me under some type of control.
When Jay-Z was hit with a recent lawsuit accusing him of SA, a claim he strongly denies, that seemed to be the moment Hollywood shifted. Many people who used to worship him suddenly backed away, acting like they never knew him, except for one person, Stephen A. Smith. Stephen didn't just defend Jay-Z and Beyonce, he doubled down. He said he's standing with them fully, and then he hinted that there's a master plan circulating behind the scenes, a plan that some people believe might be designed to tear down Jay-Z and Beyonce once and for all. So does all this chaos mean Jay-Z is actually innocent?
Carter is worse.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
This he been lining up people he calls friends and stepping to the side while they get hit by the guillotine for 30 fucking years.
And who's bold enough to try taking down one of the most powerful couples in entertainment? Let's break it apart because the pattern is getting way too obvious. Jay-Z and Beyonce have been trending non-stop this entire year, and most of it traces right back to Jay-Z's longtime friend, Diddy. Once Diddy started getting exposed for allegedly disturbing behavior, everything surrounding him began to spill out into the open, and Jay-Z's name got dragged right into the mix. Their friendship has always been strong, so when Diddy's situations became public, old rumors about Jay-Z resurfaced instantly, and suddenly the Carters were under a bigger microscope than ever. The timing was suspicious too.
Anybody that's been around Jay-Z and knows him has seen him come to the defense of the most helpless amongst us, which are the children. I can't believe for 1 second that he would ever be associated with an allegation like this. And I felt it was important to bring that up because you got people out there. Stephen A., you had something to say about Diddy. Why aren't you gonna have something to say about Jay-Z? Well, I don't know Diddy. I've met him a few times, talked to him a few times, absolutely. But I've known Jay-Z for 25 years. I don't believe it. Now that's as far as I can go, because again, if you can't provide eyewitness evidence to refute the allegations that have been levied against anyone, It's irresponsible to go over the airwaves and go any further than that. It is not irresponsible to point out who a friend of mine is. Somebody that I've come to know and love and don't believe for 1 second would be capable of such a thing. That's not irresponsible. That's love right there. Because of what you know about a person, based on your personal interactions with them, along with the people that have been around them. I don't believe it. And I tell you what also made me comfortable enough to come on the camera and say this to all of y'all. That quote that Jay-Z gave. Put it up there again, because I want the audience to see it again. I want to read the quote to you, okay? These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Bam! What he's saying is, let's go. Let's go to court. Who is she? I got children at home. Beyonce's my wife. You think I'm gonna let you talk about me like that when I got to explain to my children, your dad is not a racist? You think that's a conversation that I want? You think I'm gonna let that slide? That's what Jay-Z is saying. I have not spoken to him since these allegations have come down. Again, I was in Dubai, in Abu Dhabi. Not that the phones don't work there. I just haven't spoken to him about it. But I'm telling you what my personal belief is. First of all, I wouldn't believe that. Secondly, a 13-year-old? No. But be clear, this ain't P. Diddy. Homeland Security didn't raid Jay-Z's home. He wasn't charged with multiple felony accounts that can land him in jail for the rest of his natural life. He has been accused by a plaintiff who's hired a lawyer in pursuit of civil retribution 20 years after the fact. That's not P. Diddy. This is different.
Right after Diddy's exposure, wave after wave of stories started popping up about Jay-Z and Beyonce. At one point, it genuinely started looking like a coordinated smear campaign, almost like someone wanted to bury their reputation completely. Because the things people suddenly rediscovered were wild. Fans started pulling up old reports claiming the Carters allegedly shut down people's careers out of spite. One example came from Beyonce's former bodyguard, who publicly claimed that she and Jay-Z were responsible for blocking singer Carrie Hilson's career progression, a claim that spread quickly even though it's never been confirmed. And it didn't stop there. Beyonce's former drummer even accused her of practicing witchcraft, which sent social media into a frenzy. According to Beyonce's former drummer Kimberly Thompson, things behind the scenes were far stranger than anyone ever imagined. She claimed that Beyonce was allegedly involved in occult-like practices, and even told the Daily Beast that for reasons she never fully explained, Beyonce had supposedly launched a personal campaign against her that involved extreme witchcraft, dark magic, and magic spells of a romantic nature. These statements shocked everyone because of how specific and dramatic they were. Thompson also went as far as claiming that the Lemonade star, her kitten, insisting that Beyonce was tapping her phones and even manipulating her finances. None of these allegations were confirmed, and there's no clear explanation for why Thompson believes Beyonce would allegedly do any of this. But she remained absolutely certain that everything traced back to Beyonce. She even went live on Instagram multiple times, insisting that Beyonce had some kind of influence over her life and actions. But things escalated to a completely different level once Diddy got exposed. Suddenly, new pieces of disturbing information about the Carters began circulating online, and every new detail made the situation look messier. For example, there were online rumors claiming Jay-Z allegedly knew about Diddy's infamous freak-offs for years and chose not to intervene. And then there were people like Jaguar Wright, who took things even further by publicly claiming that Jay-Z was supposedly even worse than Diddy, and that if he ever got fully exposed, it would create a level of chaos that Hollywood wasn't ready for. Things took an even darker turn when conversations resurfaced about Jay-Z's alleged former mistress, Kathy White. According to long-running online rumors, Kathy was reportedly involved with Jay-Z around the same period Beyonce was expecting Blue Ivy. What made the story explode was the timing, because Kathy mysteriously passed away not long after Beyonce announced her pregnancy. Her passing has never been officially connected to anyone in the Carter circle, but the timing alone sparked endless speculation. That's when some fans started spreading a completely unverified theory suggesting Beyonce might have been involved, even though there is zero confirmed evidence. These theories got louder when people began dissecting the lyrics of Beyonce's song Mama's Daughter, claiming the track might contain symbolic references. Fans pointed to specific lines like, "Your body laid out on filthy floors. Your bloodstains on my custom cores. Bathroom attendant let me right in. She was a big fan. Your arrogance disturbed my solitude. Now I ripped your dress and you're all black and blue. Look what you made me do." These lyrics sparked conversation, but most industry insiders say the song is likely artistic storytelling, not a confession. Still, conspiracy theorists ran wild with it, pushing the narrative even further and creating a whole new layer of speculation around Kathy's situation. And as if that wasn't already messy enough, more rumors started to swirl about Jay-Z allegedly being tied to the same type of shady behavior his friend Diddy was accused of. According to Rihanna's former publicist, who has made many claims online over the years, federal agents reportedly questioned her about allegations that Jay-Z might have used his Def Jam position as a front for inappropriate conduct involving young women, including a young Rihanna. These are unverified statements that have never been backed by evidence, but the claims spread fast because of how sensational they sounded. According to Rihanna's former publicist, the situation took a disturbing turn when she claimed unmarked law enforcement vehicles suddenly pulled her over one day. She said the individuals identified themselves as a federal task force and insisted on speaking with her immediately. She followed them, terrified, and was taken to what she described as a desolate makeshift interrogation room. That's where she realized the situation was far more serious than she ever expected. She continued by saying the officers told her they had been monitoring Jay-Z ever since the incident involving Lance Unyen Rivera years ago. According to her story, they also mentioned that Jay-Z's name had come up in connection with troubling allegations that surfaced during his and R. Kelly's joint tour. The officers allegedly claimed they were investigating Jay-Z for inappropriate behavior involving a young woman named Adriana, and for supposedly moving her across international borders. She said the agents told her Adriana wasn't the only one, and that they believed several other individuals might have been involved. These statements remain unverified, but they spread online instantly because of how severe they sounded. From that point on, the stories surrounding Jay-Z and Beyonce started dropping one after another like a never-ending storm. Every time people thought the situation couldn't get more chaotic, another rumor or allegation popped up online and made everything worse. It felt like there was a new headline every day, and the Carters were right in the center of it. But the real breaking point, the moment everything truly exploded, came when one of Diddy's accusers updated her lawsuit and included Jay-Z's name. She claimed that Jay-Z allegedly assisted Diddy in an incident involving her back in 2000. At the time she says this happened, she was a minor, which made the allegation even more serious. These claims have not been proven, but their appearance in the updated lawsuit sent shockwaves through the industry and pushed the conversation into an entirely new level of intensity. The updated lawsuit used extremely serious language, claiming that defendant Sean Combs, along with his longtime friend and collaborator Sean Carter, also known as Jay-Z, were allegedly involved in an incident at an after-party following the 2000 Video Music Awards. According to the filing, the accuser, who says she was only 13 at the time, alleged that multiple celebrities were present and did nothing to stop what she described as harmful and inappropriate behavior. These accusations have not been proven in court, but the wording alone sent shockwaves across social media because of how intense it sounded. The filing further claimed that Sean Combs had supposedly been allowed to act without consequences for years, and allegedly believed he was untouchable. It then stated that his close friend, Sean Carter, was allegedly present during several instances described in the lawsuit. Again, none of these claims have been confirmed, but the lawsuit framed both individuals as people who needed to be held accountable, a dramatic statement that instantly fueled a massive public reaction. The lawsuit went on to say, defendant Sean Carter is a male who, on information and belief, maintains residences in both New York and Los Angeles. Defendant Carter is more commonly known by his industry name of Jay-Z. It added that he was originally identified as Celebrity A in the first version of the case. The filing also claimed that before the amended complaint was submitted, Jay-Z allegedly received a letter from the accuser's legal team requesting mediation in hopes of resolving the matter quietly. According to the lawsuit, Jay-Z supposedly reacted by filing what they described as a frivolous counter-lawsuit and by allegedly orchestrating a wider effort to challenge the accuser's credibility, something his supporters strongly deny. The amended lawsuit claimed that there was an alleged intimidation campaign aimed at the plaintiff's legal team, their families, and former associates, an effort the filing described as an attempt to silence the accuser and pressure her into backing down from her claims against Diddy and Jay-Z. The lawsuit argued that this supposed pressure was meant to frighten the plaintiff and discredit her lawyers, but according to the filing, that effort failed, and the plaintiff decided to move forward even more aggressively because of what she described as Carter's egregious conduct. These statements remain allegations, not proven facts. Jay-Z immediately responded with a harsh, strongly worded statement, and he made it clear he was ready to fight the claims head-on. He didn't hold back at all. He said, "My lawyer received what I consider a blackmail attempt, a demand letter from attorney Tony Busby. He clearly thought the nature of these allegations and the media attention would make me want to settle. No, sir. The opposite happened. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are publicly. I will not give you a single penny." Jay-Z also challenged the legal approach entirely, saying the claims were so serious that he urged the accuser's team to file a criminal complaint instead of a civil one if they truly believed what they were alleging. He said, "These accusations are so severe that I implore you to take it to criminal court. Anyone who would commit such a harmful act against a young person should be locked away. If these allegations were ever proven true, then yes, the individuals involved would absolutely deserve real justice. But right now, everything tied to Jay-Z remains unproven, and he continues to insist he's innocent." Still, a lot of people aren't fully convinced. They've seen how situations can flip in Hollywood. People remember how Diddy denied harming Cassie, even calling her claims a money grab, until a video surfaced and forced him to address the truth. That shook the entire industry. So even with Jay-Z firmly denying every accusation, the public reaction is mixed. Some people are cautious, others are doubtful, and a lot of folks admit they're watching the situation closely because the timing feels suspicious. For many people, there's this quiet belief that something isn't adding up, and they're waiting to see what facts actually come out. But Stephen A. Smith? He's not entertaining any of those doubts. He made it clear he believes Jay-Z is innocent. Full stop. And he didn't stop there. Stephen said the real problem isn't Jay-Z or Beyonce. It's the bigger machine working behind the scenes. He claimed the Carters are being targeted on purpose, and that someone's pushing a master plan to take them down and destroy their reputation once and for all. But the fan reaction to all of this is split right down the middle. Some people think Stephen A. Smith is spot on, while others believe he's just running defense for Jay-Z. The comments have been wild, with people saying things like, "Jay got people doing damage control, and they don't know he's still canceled." Others argued that anyone with serious power is capable of anything, and they brought up how nobody believed Cassie until that video surfaced and changed everything. At the same time, there were fans siding with Stephen A. saying things like, "This is one of the few times I actually agree with Stephen A. Smith, and I finally agree with Stephen. This feels like a shakedown." The whole situation has turned into a complete disaster, and everyone's trying to figure out who's telling the truth and who's playing games. One thing's for sure, this story is far from over, and the next chapter is going to be even messier. So tell me what you think. Is Jay-Z being targeted, or is there something more going on here? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, subscribe, share the video, and I'll see you on the next one.